What's good, everybody? What's good? This your boy JTL, opposite from the norm. Before I get started, make sure you bust open, my bad, smash that like button, and definitely make sure you subscribe. All right, let's get into these coons.
Seeing the devastation that they have caused to our communities.
So I keep getting the same question. Gilly, you always giving up game. Why you don't get no game on Black Lives Matter? Because I don't get to that shit, nigga. All lives matter, nigga. I don't give a fuck if you white, black, blue, purple, brown, tangerine. Nigga, all lives matter. Y'all want a nigga to go out there head first, tell these motherfucking white people Black Lives Matter. But my motherfucking black life didn't matter to the nigga that tried to execute me, to the nigga that shot me in my motherfucking wrist, stomach, and my foot, the nigga that tried to have my mama singing It's So Hard to Say Goodbye. My black life didn't matter to that nigga. All the niggas I knew been shot by niggas. And what about my nieces and nephews who half black and half white? Only 50% of their lives matter, nigga. And I understand the whole Black Lives Movement. We've been oppressed. We've been done wrong. Nigga, we do wrong to each other, nigga. We do more fucked up shit to each other than anybody.
Black Lives Matter is a joke. You are the racist. The racist is you. It's because of white guys feel that you think they're racist. The racist is Black Lives Matter. Go to Chicago.
So many of his fans are white.
I thought that was clearly a message that there was no such thing as racism.
There was a lot of backlash from people about that. Would you change it, what you said, or you still do the same? What's your thought on Black Lives Matter?
What is it? What do you mean?
The idea was that there's this movement called Black Lives Matter, thinking that the rest of America didn't seem to understand that Black Lives Matter.
It just sounds weird. I don't know that you put a name on it. It's not a name. It's not whatever. It's somebody got shot by police for a reason. I am a young, black, rich. If that don't let you know that America understands Black matter these days, I don't know what it is. Don't come at me with that dumb, man. My life matters, especially to my.
Do you separate yourself from it?
I feel connected to a damn thing that ain't got nothing to do with me.
I would take Black Lives Matter way more serious if they really believed that Black Lives Matter. I mean, in all these urban neighborhoods in the country, from east to west, north to south, there's hoods, there's ghettos, there's killers that are illegal, they're criminals, and they terrorize neighborhoods. The same neighborhood they live in. I don't understand that. So, black people are black people's biggest threat, not cops and not white people. So when black on black crime stops, when Black Lives Matter actually make me believe that they believe that black lives really matter, then I'll support it. But as long as it's a tool, it seems like it's a tool for an excuse for me to be able to do whatever I want in the world all of a sudden. Like, where was all these Black Lives Matter super militant people 10 years ago? Where was all these Black Lives Matter people when Bush was in office? How come all of a sudden, when Trump is going up against Hillary, they want to push this race shit? Is it because they don't want people to vote for Donald Trump and they want them to stay in the Democratic welfare slave system and they never want anything?
All right, that's enough of that. Anyway, let me get started on these tap dancing ass coons. So check this out. This is the hypocrisy in these coons, tap dancers, and, you know what I'm saying, house negros. All right, so you got a Candace Owens, you got this, whoever this coon is right here, Gilly the Kid. Now he's on I definitely once, my boy, me and HD talk about this, Gilly the Kid's on our coon list now. Wayne been on our coon list. And there's a couple people that we can throw in there now. This rant I'm about to do is not for you coons and tap dancers, right, who want to holler the same shit these dumbass niggas hollering, but still do ignorant shit, talk ignorant, and still live like a nigga in the hood, but you want to sit there and talk about everybody else. These type of niggas don't care what you do in your life. You're supposed to just turn a blind eye, turn the other cheek when a white person do something wrong to you, but we gonna sit there and shit on our own people all the fucking time. And this is another thing. This is not for niggas who don't care about black people. The ones that wanna holler, oh, we do it to each other, so why? They brainwashed. This is a rant for all my black beautiful people who are trying to figure this thing out, that are doing what they are supposed to be doing, trying to work, trying to take care of their family, trying to have their own business, and first and foremost, believing in God. This is for y'all. So this is just to, you know what I'm saying, keep y'all going, keep y'all motivated, and keep y'all thinking. You know what I'm saying, keep you sharp on your own toes, keep you sharp as a tack. You feel me? This is what we got to think about. It's all a game. For the coons that are tap dancing for 45, conservatives and all that shit, you got to realize it's a game. If Democrats are so bad and racist, and they're white overall, right? The leaders are white overall. We should leave them alone. But we should leave them alone and then go to Republicans? This is the thing, I'm not saying it's cool, we should do this, but this is the thing you gotta think about. Okay, they saying Democrats wanna keep us in bondage and all that bullshit. They don't do nothing for us, they fuck us up, right? So when Obama was in office, Chicago still was ablaze, right? Chicago still was fucked up. Brothers and sisters, especially brothers, was killing each other. Look at Chicago now. Chicago is still the same. They say Democrats want to keep you on housing, welfare, food stamps, and all of that jazz, right? But if you look at it, it's still the same. They say the communities are fucked up because of Democrats. But if you look at it, it's still the same under 45 Trump. It's still the same. So they said the jobs for unemployment for black people. It was messed up when Obama got it from Bush, then it started rising, right? Then when we had pandemic threats, he did a pretty good job. Everything wasn't shut down like it is now. And if you look at it now, the jobs are worse than ever, even under the Great Depression. The pandemic is worse here than when Obama was there, under 45. So explain to me how black people leaving one master and going to the next master is going to be better. You mean to tell me that Democrats want to give us all this bullshit for our votes? Food stamps, welfare, housing, HUD, all of that great shit, right? For their votes. Republicans tell you they don't want to give you shit. So I'm not saying stay with Democrats, and I'm going to get to that in a second. What I'm saying right now is, explain to me how, if 45 is so much better, the pandemic is terrible over here. Jobs are fucked up over here. There's still food stamps, there's still housing, there's still, you know what I'm saying? It's all this shit still going on. It's still murder. It's still a lot of murders in Chicago, since they always want to bring up Chicago under Obama. Chicago has been the same for generations now, under all these presidents, Democrat or Republican. It's all been the fucking same. And you mean to tell me if I leave Democrats and go to Republicans, and like I said, I'm not either side anyways, it's going to be better? The country is still the same. Now it's worse under our new master. So when you hear these coons that's tap dancing for Republicans, it's still the same. It hasn't gotten better. It's gotten worse, actually. Even in the midst of a pandemic, black people are still getting gunned down, whether wrong or right, by the police. Still the same. Under a pandemic, it's still the same. Now let's go to these rap niggas. Gilly the Kid. Y'all can look it up. Kevin Gates said the same shit that he's saying. Puss ass Lil Wayne said the same thing. It's still the same thing. they're hollering, why should I say Black Lives Matter when Black Lives don't matter to other black people? When Gilly the Kid said he got shot by a nigga, Kevin Gates talks about how niggas do each other. Wayne talk about how niggas do each other. Why should we blame the police and everybody for what we're doing? But they hollering that on a half a soapbox, but not talking about the fact that they still make songs that perpetuate street violence, drug dealing, prostitution, disrespect of black women. Why are we listening to rappers who talk this thug shit like they have a right to turn around and become Martin Luther King for the police, for white people? You got all these black people that are doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's complaining about police brutality, racism, oppression, inequalities, poverty. And these are the black people that are trying to do something. Like a black person like myself, like a black person like my partner HD, like my god brothers, my homeboys, you know what I'm saying, my buddies, you know what I'm saying, my female friends and god sisters. We all working, staying out of trouble, and still go through these same things. And then you have these coon ass niggas that will still be talking about, well, maybe you need to do something, no. We see it. We're not going to turn blind to it, because you have black people that get harassed all the time. And then they're quick to say that, it's only 1% of police reports show that that's what's going on in the black community. Do you honestly think that every time we make a complaint that it's going into the system? Do you honestly think every black person get pulled over deserves it? The reason why you may have a situation like the brother Jacob, I think his name Jacob Blake or something like that. The reason why you have a Jacob Blake situation is because it happens so much that we like, fuck all this shit. And we got to think about this. They always talking about the Jewish community and how they run Hollywood. They saying that they're wrong. How they run the music business, they say that they're wrong. But you mean to tell me that if you say their name, or they say the Jewish community on anything, they ride, people shut the fuck up. Wrong or right, they ride for their own. And I'm not saying, ride for the wrong. I'm definitely not going to tell you to ride for somebody who out here doing drive-bys and killing innocent people and kids. Fuck them. But what I'm saying is, even when the Jewish community is wrong, nobody points that out. Ben Shapiro is talking all of this shit about black people, what we should do. But if we do that to the Jewish community, look how they do us. When Jay-Z put out 444 and he said on that OJ song, credit. That's how the Jewish people did it. They was talking shit about him for saying that. And that was not a slight. That was actually giving the Jewish community props. He's talk game about how you do business, how you be economic, how you be financially savvy. And he gave the Jewish community they props. And they still went in on him and talked shit to him. So what does that tell you? We can't point out their rights or their wrong. That's just like when the brother Hawk was on from Black Lives Matter, was on Bed Wench Owens show. He brought that up a few times. He like, the Jewish community does this all the time. They do this all the time. Not only are they able, with the influence and power and the structures and the economics that they got, can take your job from you like they did Nick Cannon, but they also can make you go on an apology tour like they did Nick Cannon. They didn't even try to debate him or Professor Griff. They just went on and canceled shit. But when black people do it, we wrong. Look how we do each other. You don't think they ain't Jewish people disrespecting each other and killing each other? Because really it's about proximity. The people around each other kill each other the most. That black on black crime is bullshit because it's white on white, Asian on Asian, Italian on Italian. Look at the Italian mob. They killed each other. Italians killing Italians. But you never heard Italian on Italian crime. You don't hear Asian on Asian or Latino on Latino crime. We the only ones to get the black on black crime. Now let's go ahead and move on over. When they say what we're doing to each other, we're destroying our own communities. This is what people don't pay attention to. Look up the history of South Carolina, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. You already know Tulsa, Oklahoma. Look up Kansas City. Just look through every state from 1900 to 1950 and see how many states and cities had their own black towns and how many of them was destroyed by racist, bigot-ass crackers. Look it up. When our crime rate was low as shit, when our poverty rate was low as shit, when our uneducated people was low as shit, when our unwed mothers was low as shit, they still was destroying our communities. They still was killing us. Even when we was doing great in this country. Even after slavery, abolition, and Jim Crow era. These are the eras I'm telling you to look up. After slavery, so let's say 1890. Slavery ended in 1865. Look up from 1890 to 1950. Look how many black people were killed by the KKK, by the police, by white militias, and just regular vigilante white people. Just look. I want y'all to do y'all research. Just look that up. Look how low our crime rate was, our murder rate was, unwed mothers was. Look up poverty, how low our poverty was, how low the uneducated people was. Look how great we was doing from 1890 to 1950. Look how great we was doing and how so much bullshit was happening to our people. Look at all of that. Like I said, this is for my educated black people that's trying to figure it out. Not for the niggas who gave up. Not for the niggas who bootlicking white people. Not for the niggas who are confused. This is for my black people who are trying to figure it out and care about your people. This is for y'all. Anybody that listen that's against that, fuck you. This is for my people. We on some other shit over here opposite from the norm. We choose not to play the game. We choose to point the bullshit out and try to give some direction to our people that's trying to go on a different route instead of being bamboozled with this bullshit from the left or the right. Pay attention to your history. This is why you got to know where you came from to know where you're going. Look at all the dope things and the great things that we was doing as a people, and they fuck with us. And think about it now. Why is it that when we was doing great, we had so much separation? We had so many people coming at us. When desegregation happened and white people made it look pretty for us to come on their side, even though you still could get hung, you still can get killed, you still can get thrown in prison for some bullshit, for reckless eyeballing. My pops told me a story about that. Back in the days, before 68, 70, you can go to jail for looking at a white woman. As a black man, we all know the Emmett Till story. If you don't know that, you need to go do some research. I'm giving you bullet points. I'm giving you research tips. I'm giving you the direction, what you can go look up. Go look this up. Reckless eyeballing. You can go to prison for that. That's why me and my partner, I don't understand how somebody want to be and marry a white woman when that was against the law. I'm good over here. I wouldn't even do that to my mama, God forbid. I'm good. But go look that up. When we was doing great, these same atrocities was happening to us. Now think about it. Fast forward to 73 and now. From 1973 to 2020. How when we got desegregated, our black families broke down. Mass incarceration, drugs, alcoholism, crime rates, all that, police brutality. Look up all of that from 73 to now, 2020. Think about that. Why is it that when we tried to do great, it got fucked up? But then fast forward when we just doing crime and everything, That's the only thing that really sustains when it comes to our people. That's the only thing we're looked at. Even though we got so many black people that's scholars, professors, judges, lawyers, doctors, what have you. For some reason, Fox News and people like them only point out our bad points unless you're conservative, bootlicking white people. Think about that. Oh, I give you one to check on. One good reason is because the prison systems make so much money. So they're affording to do something or gain something from black people's struggle. When they say Democrats versus Republicans, think about it. They say Cardi B talking to Joe Biden is wrong because Republicans wouldn't do that to white people. That's what Candace Owens, Bed Wench Owens said. She said Trump wouldn't go and get Justin Bieber because white people would be offended. But explain to me how Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, using the Breakfast Club, Beyonce lyrics, Cardi B, is just one incident where that's what Democrats do to us. But you mean to tell me when Trump went to go talk to Kanye West, Steve Harvey, and Jim Brown. No offense to Jim Brown, because I know he's done great things in the community. But think about this. Kanye West is a rapper. Jim Brown is a former football player, and Steve Harvey is a comedian. These are the things that we don't point out on both sides and think. I mean, really think the games that they're playing. Trump, when he was running, what did he do? He went to black churches, entertainers, athletes. He did the same thing that they're accusing the Democrats for doing. This is what I want y'all to think about. They say Republicans wouldn't do that to white people, but they're doing the same thing to black people. When have you seen Trump sit down and talk to a Cornel West, a Tavis Smiley? When have you seen that? When have you seen him sit down? As a matter of fact, he wanted Meek Mills to come up there, a rapper. Now, I know Meek Mills is trying to do things with the prison reform, but why are you talking to Meek Mills? Why are you talking to Kim Kardashian? Why is she able to help get black people out of jail, but black people can't help black people get black people out of jail? Like, they're both playing a game. So I want y'all to think about this. How much better would it be if we relied on each other? I'm not saying that all the bad seeds. I still love my people bad seeds, and I just pray for them. But the actions I'm taking is working with the black people that's trying to figure it out. I say we got to put God first, keep our faith in God. Point blank, period. Keep faith in his son. Now, some people may say Jesus. I say Yahshua. Because you got to go back to the Hebrew time. You got to do your digging and research on that. But we got to keep the Most High first and try to love each other and work with the people that are trying to do their best, because everybody can't be saved. They say that in the Bible. But we got to stop being brainwashed by these celebrities and politics. They do not care about us. The reason why the gay community, the reason why the Jewish community, Asian, Italian people are doing their thing and getting past us is because they give no fucks. It ain't about feelings when you deal with these people. The feelings is, this is for me and my people. The logic is how we gonna deal with these motherfuckers outside of our home. We gotta stop being so fucking brainwashed by these bullshitters. I just want y'all to pay attention to that. Do your research on when we was doing good, what was our treatment. It still was the same, because you gotta realize something. Back then, real quick, before I get out of here, back then, like I said, from 1890 to 1950, when we was doing so great, we actually was getting killed more. For all the black people that you see are trying now, let's say a LeBron James, right? You see this brother trying to do something positive. He's an athlete. He don't have to do none of this. He rich as shit. He don't have to care about his own people. He ain't have to go back to Akron and build a school and help build up his community and build houses. And he didn't have to do that. And people are shitting on him. Like a fat fuck motherfucker, Jason Whitlock. We got to realize something. Let the athletes and celebrities and entertainers do what they can, but don't expect so much for them. But at the same time, think about it. What all LeBron is trying to do, instead of a Jason Whitlock calling him, get in contact with him and his people and saying, hey, listen, bro, I think you on the road to doing something major here. Maybe I can try to help you and give you some advice on what you can do and be careful about certain things. No, he talked shit about him publicly. Instead of talking about the sports, he's talking about what he's doing outside of sports. Another coon tap dancer that's shitting on our people. And one more thing. Even though I don't agree with everything with Black Lives Matter, I appreciate the steps and strides that they've been making. And the reason why I don't shit on Black Lives Matter is because I think about it opposite from the norm of what everybody else is thinking about. I don't see it as Black Lives Matter is an organization like Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA. I see Black Lives Matter as black lives. And what I mean is, when you shit on Black Lives Matter, these motherfuckers have been able to separate or make you question if black lives even matter. It has nothing to do with black people gaining or trying to do their best. They're not looking at Black Lives Matter as that. They're trying to make it seem like Black Lives Matter is Boys and Girls Club. It's just some separate organization from black people and their lives mattering. That's why I don't shit on Black Lives Matter. Like I said, I don't agree with everything. I respect and appreciate the things that they're doing, the movement and the progression that they're making. But I can't shit on it because I feel like if I shit on Black Lives Matter, I'm shitting on black people. So like I said, even if I disagree with it, I would rather have conversations with people in it or people that are forefront leaders or runners or whatever for it and say, here's my issue with it. If people really care about black lives, I mean Republicans and conservatives, they would call them and say, listen, you kind of doing this a little wrong. Or how can we come to the table and figure something out? That's what I mean. That's what we have to think. Call your brother and sister that you see are trying to do something good and try to give some advice. Really check their temperature to see where their heart is at and where their head is at. If you see they're full of shit and they doing some racist shit, I mean blatantly, call them out. Or if they try to be sneaky with it, call them out. But just to separate ourselves like all these coons is doing is retarded, bro. It's retarded. Because we shitting on each other and we got to realize the same niggas that's calling out Black Lives Matter, what do they really do for black people? That's what you got to look at. Because you got coons out here that will talk shit about black people and don't do shit for black people. Got to be careful about that. I ain't with that bullshit. I'm not with that bullshit. We got to be smarter than that. So I appreciate y'all checking me out, listening to my little rant. Hopefully you do your history. Like I said, go check from 1890 to 1950 how we was doing it and the shit that we went through. When it was not us destroying us, but it was them. And look up why is it that when we doing dirt to each other, they not stopping that. But when we was progression, they stopped that. This your boy JTL, opposite from the norm. Like, share, comment. Definitely make sure you subscribe. I'm going to get back at y'all with another one. I got plenty of videos in the vault to load up for y'all to check out. Lord's willing. Appreciate y'all. Much love to the opposite from the norm fam. We'll get back at you. Chill.